I'm not someone who goes looking for ghosts or weird stuff, like each to their own. I just don't believe in it. But this happened a couple of years ago, and my partner and I rented this small little cottage out in the countryside, like an Airbnb. It was proper middle of the nowhere kind of place. There was a lake about 10 minutes from the house. Not huge, but big enough that you couldn't see the bottom or the middle. It was pretty decent size. And right in the middle of it, there was this tiny island, just trees and brush mostly, except you could see poking through the trees these old stone ruins. It used to be a church apparently. Okay. At least that's what the owner told us. Yes. Burned down in the 1800s or something like that. Only a few waist-high walls were still standing. It was proper crumbling. You could only get there by this old wooden rowboat that the owner had chained to a post at the shore. On the second evening, we had everything done, so just before sunset, we decided to row out. It was calm, and the water was completely flat, really like glass. No wind, no birds, actually nothing at all, which I remember thinking was kind of strange because it was too quiet. When we got to the islands, something felt kind of off. Not scary exactly, just heavy, like when you walk into a room right after an argument happened. We got out and we stepped on the land and up the path and into the church, or what used to be the church. You could still see the outline where the altar must have been. And that's when I noticed it, sitting right in the middle of the stone floor was a teddy bear. Not old and rotting and tatty, not dirty. Looked almost new. Fluffy brown fur and a little red ribbon around its neck, just like it was placed there. Now here's the thing. The cottage owner told us no one goes out there. The boat stays chained most of the time. And it had rained hard the night before. The ground in the island was muddy, but there was no footprints, none beside ours anyway. It was just like curiosity, I suppose, but I went over and I picked up the bear. God, look, thinking back on it, I don't know why. I guess I thought some kid had left it or something. It was completely dry. Totally. Not a speck of dampness from the air. And this is the part that still makes my stomach drop when I think of it. When I lifted it up, I heard something behind me. It wasn't loud, it was just the faintest sound of humming. Like someone humming a lullaby. Soft, kind of slow in the distance. My partner heard it too. I could tell because I looked at him and I was frozen and he froze at the exact same time. I turned around and he turned around. We looked, but there was nothing there. Just the same stone balls and trees. And then, just like it started, it stopped. Everything was dead quiet again. We kind of looked at each other without saying words. We both decided it's time to leave. So I set the teddy bear down exactly where it was, and we kind of walked a little bit faster back to the boat. But when we pushed off from the island, I looked back. I swear on everything and everybody, the bear wasn't lying down any longer. It was upright, sitting, facing the water, facing us in the direction that we were going. There was no one else there, no sound of movement, no splashes, just the still lake and us going through it, and that tiny ruined church getting smaller as we rode away. We kind of didn't talk much about it that night. Like, I think we were processing it, trying to rationalize it. Like, was it wind or imagination, just weird acoustics? The next morning, I still wasn't right, so I went down to the lake by myself. I didn't know why, some kind of morbid curiosity. We left the cottage that afternoon. I wanted to prove to myself that it was nothing short, boxed. And here's the thing, exactly where we left it. The water on the island didn't look as still as it did the bit that shore. There were ripples, small ones, like something had just moved beneath the surface. We didn't feel kind of rising. To be honest, I didn't feel safe, so we left the cottage that afternoon, cut our trip short. And here's the thing that really bothers me. I looked up the place when we got home, tried to find anything about that church, and I did find any. I found one local forum post. I scanned down, and I finally saw it. Someone mentioned that a child had drowned near the island in the 1950s. And apparently, when they recovered the body, the only thing they found with it was the teddy bear that the kid had been holding. And I don't know what we saw, and I don't know what we heard, but I know that bear wasn't there by accident. And I know it stood up, and it was sitting in a position I didn't put it in before.